start. Okay. I'm going to be watching anyway, so don't worry about it. Surprised. So tonight, keeping up with the battle of the sketches over on Instagram with Epic Props and Bernard Chang. And tonight, or this week's topic is Fennec Shand. They're doing Asian Star Wars characters. And Fennec Shand is played by Ming-Na Wen. Anybody who knows me might know that Ming-Na is my age-appropriate celebrity crush. So any excuse to draw Ming-Na, we'll take it. So this is what Fennec Shand looks like. So I printed out some reference so I can do some stuff. I'm not going to do any of these poses per se, but I like to have the references handy. Move the mic a little back. And let's get started. Now, Fennec Shand is a mercenary. She's been a hitman. That's what to sketch with. Fennec. Star Wars takes some names kind of literally. So Fennec is actually a type of fox. So I'm going to throw a fox in the background. Sorry. Away from the mic. Clean up my glasses real quick. I start these streams pretty close to when I get home from work, so I don't have a lot of time to prep sometimes. Okay. So these are the references I have, so I know what the costume looks like. I know what the helmet looks like. Obviously, I'm sure I know what Ming-Na Wen looks like. The hair is kind of unique with the braids. The costume is pretty distinct with its padding and the orange accents. I think I'm going to do probably like a bust, maybe the waist up. I have references for the rifle closer up so I can see what the rifle details look like. Stuff like that. I like to have the references available. But again, I'm not going to draw anything verbatim from the references. Except, well, I might draw the face kind of verbatim, but and then I figured since Fennec is a fox, I throw a fox in the background. So that's kind of where I'm going. I'm going to turn that comment section on, and I'm going to go over to the Streamlabs real quick and start the recording because I will put a process video up later. Forward. The replays. Because nobody really watches the long form live streams, even though I do them. So I usually record. I've taken the recording of live streams. You can see I was dealing with a bleeding pen last night. And if anybody wants to talk about anything, you're welcome to throw it in the chat. We can talk about whatever you want. Otherwise, I'm just going to start drawing. Let's see. Yeah. So I can see the whole page. Stand up a little bit. We need to rotate it just a tad. And that should do it. Let me check it in Streamlabs. So we're recording it in Streamlabs. All right, glasses back down. And then I'll use my references. Hold on. I may have some other references open too, but there we go. Different window. Okay. So, close that. All right. So, I'm going to do kind of a 3/4 view. Head about here. Okay, I'm thinking I'm going to do like from the waist up, so I got to kind of plan for it. The reason I'm starting kind of low is I want to put like the Fennec, the fox, kind of in the background behind her. Her namesake, kind of, if you think of it that way. Okay. One of the things I always offer, I mean, you see it in the ticker at the bottom. If you want to come in and you don't want to be seen on camera, that's fine. But you can come in and you can talk directly. I try to keep an eye on the chat, but it's kind of hard sometimes when you're drawing. Um, so thankfully, I'm not so popular. The chat's flying by, so usually I can catch stuff. There's about a 20-second delay from what I'm doing to what you see. So that means if you say something, there's a added delay back to me. So it's hard when you have conversations that are flying because the stream has moved on and the conversation is in the past. Even though it's got a pretty broad jawline, um, Fennec costume has like, you don't see individual breasts, obviously breast shapes, but you do have like this padding around the breast that kind of accentuates them a bit. So and then I figured you can have her. She's got this very distinct helmet. So let's put the helmet. Look, she's going to carry it on her hip. The helmet will be right here. And around that. Let's figure the arms will go around here. The arm around there. You can have the arm come down more this way. We need to move the arm or the upper arm back and slip it back. I don't normally talk to myself when I'm drawing, but because I'm streaming, I don't want too much dead air. So I want to give you guys some noise that. Well, I can put on some music too. Put on music. Let's start putting the arm back a bit. Let's see if that helps. Making the arm a little bit beefier. Let's spin them up a bit. And then the helmet is it's not like a motorcycle helmet. It's got some weird compound curves to it. So put these curves in here because that'll help me figure out where I need to place her hands. So this is like the top visor, and her eyes are like just in this slit right here. So it's a cool looking design, but it seems very impractical. Like if you were, especially if you're an assassin, her field of vision is narrowed on the top and bottom. She still has peripheral because she can see right and left, but the vision along the top and bottom is reduced to quite a bit. It seems like it'd be like a real impractical blind spot for somebody that has to fight for a living, but still looks cool. So, you know what? Can tuck lips out, and then let's see. Imagine going toward the neckline. So it's a weird compound shape in the visor. You envision it through the. then up the forearm. I probably need to prop it back farther. Things you have to think about. So, okay, you need to get the bicep back farther too. Pigeon, hold on, my glasses on here. Pigeon the third, 23 says hello. Well, hello there, Pigeon. How you doing tonight? Anything you'd like to talk about? I'm just drawing Fennec Shand. Over on IG, Epic Props and Bernard Chang, they do these weekly topics, and because it's AAPI month, they're doing Asian characters from Star Wars. Last week we did they did the Fifth Brother, because he was played by Sun Kang, and this week they're doing Fennec Shand, so I thought I'd play along again. Fennec Shand is played by Ming-Na Wen. Character is featured on The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett. Put some music on, I think. Doing great, okay. And thank you for the comment. The art is been drawn for a long time and still trying to get better. It's a slight three-quarter view, so this will be the middle of the neck, come down the chest, down the breast. So kind of that. And that's just I'm drawing that because her suit has some symmetry to it, but I need to know where the dividing line is. And then, so she's got some kind of boxing on this side of her chest. And then this is why I wanted to figure out what the symmetry was. And it's going to look more sloped on that one because of the way the angle is, and this one's going to come out more this way. And down. And then, because the suits are navel gazing for dudes, they prop up the breast kind of. I mean, no one's not super busty, but we'll give her so you can tell it's a lady armor. And this comes over the base of the collar, tucks under the shoulder armpit area. Here you saying I'm still a beginner. I'm Art. Okay. I don't know if you're saying your name is Art or whether you meant to say you're a beginner at Art. Well, either way, good. So you got that helmet. Her torso is covered by some banding, which is kind of reminiscent of like the kind of appropriate, it's like the Chinese and or Asian dresses have those wide bands across them. If you see Ming-Na and Mulan, she's wearing something very much like that. The backside comes out. And we'll just draw. The suit has kind of a coat and tails kind of thing going on. So that. Okay, imagine the center one coming down. That. You can give the hit to the tail, back of tail on the other side. All right, let's see now. You have to. So if you're saying you're new in art, but you got to go. All right. Take care, Bridget. Thanks for swinging by. Let's get back to you. It's got kind of a high collar. And I'm a fan of tall collars. I think they're very uncomfortable to wear. I had to wear a choker collar in the military, but they look cool. So from a visual aesthetic, it's a nice look, but they are a pain to wear. I'm not gonna lie. Tall collars are not comfortable because you're like your lower chin tends to like rub against the collar in your jaw. Just kind of irritating. She's got the tall collar. And, let's see. Suit. We'll put some banding in here. I'm just rubbing it in with the pencil right now, just so I know that it's there. When I ink it, I'll be a little more careful with it. Okay, collar does. Yeah. A fold down collar. Just get that. Right. Shoulder area. And there's this V-dot extension, and then some area there. Okay. As far as the arms, it looks like the arms are pretty much symmetrical, but they come out so that there's kind of a padded short sleeve section. We'll just get the padding in there. So you get that. And let's see, symmetrical, it's not symmetrical. So she's got something on her arm on that side, but I'm not seeing it because of the way the body's turned. So we go straight into the gloves here. So the gloves also have this banding. Kind of reminds you of like the old down jackets, they were poofy. But the collar, the gloves have some thickness to it, so I'm going to expand that out so that I know to thicken that section up a bit. And then she's got pretty tight gloves, which makes sense if you're dealing with like weapons and stuff. You don't want loose gloves. Stomach's a lot to me right now. So her hands are wrapped around the edge of the helmet. His thumb, you can just kind of bring along the hand. Yeah. I think that works. I think I had the thumb too much up and just be resting along with the hand. All right, so let's try and get Ming-Na's face in here. I think I have the body sloped too much this way. I can adjust that out. Like that. And you can ink so it doesn't look so tilted forward. So let's pull my teeth a little farther. Let's see if we can get Ming-Na Wen's likeness somewhat. I've got a bit of a challenge here because I've got the face turned a little bit more than my references. So I'm kind of looking at this one more, but I'm trying to visualize the turn a little bit more. So I've got to account for that. So I don't have as much cheek on this side, and I've got more face on this side. I have to account for everything when I turn. The lips aren't going to be as symmetrical because of the turn. Nothing. Deep before, shorten it back up. And then with the references I have, like I said, I don't have this exact angle, but I can kind of extrapolate it. So I have the basic. This side's pretty much good. I just have to extend out the cheek a bit. But I have to like shorten up everything over here to create that turn. And then I have, this one is more turned, but it's turned the other directions. But I can kind of extrapolate in my head, how far to move stuff around a little bit. I'm not going to have the eye right on the edge of the face, but I'm going to have it much closer than it is in either of my reference pictures. Is this pencil going to fight me all night? Cheekbones in there. I'm going to end up looking exactly like Ming-Na Wen, because I don't have the exact right angle reference. I'm trying to extrapolate enough that we can at least make it look somewhat like it. Cut that back. Hair goes. This one strand that comes here. Sandy says, "What are you working on?" I am drawing Fennec Shand from Star Wars. It's AAPI Heritage Month, and it's Star Wars Month. It's the Battle of the Sketches over on Instagram. So this is the topic for the week, is Fennec Shand. best shot. Let me take the light down here more. The hairstyle is going to be complicated for me. Since your braids, she also has this string stuff going on here. I don't know what the string is. Still not quite happy with the face. I'm pretty well getting wrong here. There's no earrings or accessories in the ears. That helps taking up that chin. She does have a long ponytail. It's slightly turned. Ponytail's going to start over here. Then you can continue it over here. And tucked at the end of it. So it goes behind her, over her shoulder. This way. Now, I said I wanted to put a Fennec in there because the Fennec is a fox. So I'm going to Fennec's in the background behind her. Fennecs are known for their huge ears. Other than that, they kind of have like quirky faces. But her name is Fennec Shand. We thought we'd put a Fennec in there as part of her namesake. Puffy cheeks. These have really big ears, so let's see. Eyes. Kind of gives you a Baby Yoda feel. Fennecs have lots of down here in their ears. Here usually has a tuck, kind of like that. Almost makes them look like horns at the top. Dark eyes. You can get that Baby Yoda look. Okay. Eyes. some framing accents around both of them. You know what? I think she needs her hand to put the hand in there and have her like holding her rifle this way. I'd have to have her hand down here. That's too low. Otherwise, I'd have to have the rifle sticking farther up, which you don't like. To do it. Does she have a pistol? Maybe I can give her a pistol. Like a Fennec Shand pistol. She's known for using that sniper rifle, but let me see. I'll blast her. Because I could probably put a blast in there. Blaster in Star Wars, right? Fennec Shand blaster. Okay, yeah. Well, she does have a pistol I can give her. So now I put the hand closer to the body. And looking at some shoulder. It's going to be on the far side over here. The forearm. And then the upper arm and the forearm. I'm trying to imagine, the opposite shoulder's like here. So the arm coming out of there. And then you can see some of the padding on that arm there. It's the same kind of padding she has on this arm. And then there's a weird device on the back of her bicep. You just hint at it right here. It's basically just going for a rectangle. And then she's got the same kind of gloves on both hands. And the gloves are thicker, so we'll extend that off of the forearm. We'll have it a bit tighter on this side. We're just about there. And this is actually the arm. And that's the bottom of the arm. And this is that whatever that orange thing is on the other side of her arm. And let's turn this. The pistol goes. Actually, let's see. I should have more of the butt of the pistol here. Get my reference again. See this pistol. What if I get a 3D reference? I'm trying to visualize the pistol in 3D. What? There's me. Wrap the hands around it. It's a pretty simple pistol, thankfully. This is the bottom of the pistol. The trigger guard coming out of the center of it. And there's that section that sticks up. And here, slopes back up. It's going to have taper to it. And the barrel. Something like that. Okay. So now we have to either wrap the handle on this. Thumb side. Point the finger along the trigger. And it's getting cluttered in there, but all right. And then I said, like, so I'm gonna have some access, but I needed to know where the pistol was so that I could do that. I want to have this. And opposite side. This little framing device. Give them. This is gonna be like dark, like stars and stuff. Sandy says it's been nice seeing you draw live again. How long will you be drawing tonight? Till I'm done, so probably 9, maybe 2 more hours, depending on how long it takes me to finish this up. At least an hour, hour and a half. I don't think I'm gonna have this done anytime quickly. There's a lot going on here, but I am ready to start inking, which is good. Been drawing for about 35 minutes now. I got a little bit of head start, and I figure it's probably going to take me a bit to complete. Let's see, Fennecs, what kind of tails do the Fennecs have? Tails are relatively distinct. Just paper that off. All right, let's do this. All right, 1, 2, 4. 4 bands. All right, yeah. 1, 2, 3. Forearm. This is not looking good. I've got to figure this out. Fingers, fingers. The butt of the grip. The pencil head is retracting into the pencil on me. Finger. Thumb. I think I can bring the thumb up more this way. Let's see how does that look. It's still too performed. Pointer finger rather. Trigger discipline. Don't put your finger on the trigger until you're ready to shoot. Okay, I think I'm going to call that penciled. I'll probably have to go in and once I get to the inking area, I'll probably have to detail out the pencils and the braiding a bit, just so I have something to follow easier. But for now, I think I can make some progress. Let's grab 0.5. All right. So random area to start with. Look at the helmet details right here. There's something going on there. Can't really tell, but you got a box and another box. It doesn't seem to affect the curve of the visor part, so I'm glad. Got a seam across the top. Now, the gloves, like I said, the gloves have some poof to them, and then the edges and the dividers. Keep the gloves. This. Rounding that out, and then around in between them as well. It's going to be a more elliptical, stretched out poofy. See they probably doesn't translate too well on the camera, but you have a little bit of poof between the rib section of the gloves or the greaves or gauntlets or whatever these things are called on her. And then the sleeves have a little bit of this too. Go ahead and put the poof on the sleeves. Let's see, there's 3 sections. Okay. Again, a little rib on the accents, and a little bit of poof on the sleeve. I'm kind of working my way forward to the back. If you're wondering why I picked where I did, and that'll just help me, know where to stop. Like that. And his gloves. I don't have too much detail. hands gripping the helmet. Again, I don't know why she has such a thin slit on her visor, on her helmet. It's really impractical. I think I should. The helmet has to have some back to it. Maybe that's the visor coming around. And this, I think it's got to be just a little bit back here. Yeah, so this is orange and this is black or dark. So there's like an earpiece. Just that little bit there. I think that's what I'm missing right there. Can't see the white strip on the bottom part of the eyes. Can't see. And there's all kinds of little grooves in this thing. Top and bottom of this. Where you put the top part in, we'll put the bottom piece right here. Okay. All right, we're getting there. We're on time. And since you did have a tall turn down collar. Access the tongue. Spot. And kind of make a boob window. Actually, kind of back. Some of the other reference, but in front it looks like it's following them. We'll thicken this up. And put in the visual scene right here. And I got to eyeball some ribs following these curves. Let's put a middle one down. Divide it again. Divide one more time. Just on the other side. All right. Not perfect, but the idea is there. It's just got have it mid grip second. And it's kind of similar to like the gloves and the sleeves, but not as poofy. The bands still have the bump out, but the part here is straighter. I'm trying to correct the slant I had. Originally, I had her torso more tucked in this way. I think she looked like she was leaning too much forward or something. So I'm trying to correct that. And technically, there'd be 3 of these big bands, but there's also like a belt band going over the top of them. So this one, the bottom one, looks smaller because of that. Because we have so. There is some flex in this stuff here. Kind of into that. The top part, depending on what I'm looking at, there's a fabric pattern here, and on the collar. And then this seems to be smooth. Kind of almost like a belt. Put a shading in this. And we'll also do more shading when we add color. Alright. Costume gets complicated sometimes. Alright. So, looking at the tail on her jacket suit thing. Again, if you were to, if you saw the pants, her back would come here, and then the nape and small of her back, and then into her buttocks, and then this would be resting off the buttocks, and slide down. Okay. Now, since I moved her torso out, I've got to account for this center thing right here. Had it more. This would have been the center line, but now I can imagine the center line shifted over this way. So now this becomes over there, here. Curves along the pattern. If you have comes over this way, like a weave, and then I think I need to shift the tail on the other side. See it? Or not at this point. This has become exposed. Like that. And then the tail will actually extend off of that on that side. Okay. I think that's what I'm going to do it. The tail actually overlaps this piece, but because the way your body's turned, you're seeing this edge before it curves over. I don't think people realize how much I think about these things. It's like, oh, pretty pictures. They're not even that pretty. Wow. Okay. So looking at that, and then the tail on the other side. You can have maybe a bit of a back. This would be the piping, the seam, and then the tail. All right. Now, let's see. I'm not seeing. Oh, this was the braid. That's what that was. I got myself lost in there for a minute. So, hey, I'm not seeing the shoulder and stuff on that side. It can't be right. So we'll A thicker braid. I'll use the technique I got from Drew here to do a simple braid. Put the zigzag pattern in. And then I'll braid on top of that zigzag pattern. See the tail under the braid here. Should I put some music on? Is anybody even watching? Quiet. I'll put some music on, huh? That sounds good. Grumpy chill. Let's try grumpy chill. The banding on the sleeve on the other side. Again, remembering you have to look to them. And then a little poof in the sleeve. After that, you get the gloves on this side. Not really gloves. I don't know what you call these. Maybe a bracer, a collar. I don't know. Oh, Sandy's still watching. Yay, music. Better than my mellifluous voice, huh? Yeah, 4 and then the collars. I'm going to do this like and account for the hand. So, less proof on this side. You said she's got some kind of thing on the back side of her bicep on this arm. I don't really know what it is. We'll put a hint of something there and color it in when we get there. Okay. So got a body. Now let's see if I can unfudge this hand as I go. This finger, stuff on. You can see it was a weird angle. See the bottom of the thumb. And you see like this part of the thumb right here. Not going to be perfect, obviously. The pistol she's using has a pretty angular grip. Really too much with that. was pretty quiet. Yeah, I know. That's the one of the problems is trying to fill up the dead air, but I don't know what to say if no one's talking to me. Got nothing to talk about, so I try to describe the process, but also have to keep moving too. Uh, so. Also part of the hand coming up here. Bottom of the trigger guard. Base of the pistol. Pointer finger. Follow the trigger guard. Can't make it too long. I gotta think about this. It did start to get too long. Right up there. And then should overlap the base of the pistol. Go back to the pistol reference up to. I think I closed it. Okay. Yeah, let's make it up. So I know there was a midsection that went like this. And some kind of accents in there. And then just itself sloped up. And kind of a bulbous barrel, almost phallic. Something like that. It's not exact. Yeah, Sandy streams too. This is I never know what to say either. I'm very bad at live streaming when no one's watching too. Yeah. One nice thing though is like I've taken to recording my live streams so that I go back in and shorten them for sped up replays. All right, now let's see if we can hit this Ming-Na Wen face a bit better. Move this up here. I can concentrate on some eyes. So I think I had the eyes too close. And I had the corner right there, so I got to move it in this way. Ming-Na's got a pretty straight nose. Like if you look at her features, right? It's pretty narrow, straight, and to the side. It's got a lot of topography on it. No arches or bumps or anything. All these references I have, might either turn too much, if not turned enough. Trying to extrapolate. Yeah, not quite right, but it's 8 now, so. Just noticed too, this actually went here. Anyway, we can think around this. Come back to the Fennec. Switching over to my Fennec reference. It's weird because their eyes are very dark. They do still have black pupils, but the rest of the eye is so dark the pupils are hard to see. So I'm going to go ahead and put in the pupils with the black. But when I come in, the eyes are going to be like a really dark gray, so the pupils won't stand out much. Hit the camera. Fennecs have crazy whiskers too. And the long whiskers in the eyes. And I'm keeping those deliberately loose, so not overdoing them. I feel like I'm drawing Rocket Raccoon. There's a creature in Star Wars called, I think it's a Voltex, which are crystalline foxes, and I'm pretty sure they're based off of the Fennecs. I'm not positive, but the ears they put on them really makes you think they base them off of Fennecs. I'm drawing animals. I tend not to want to have really heavy or sharp line work, and then just kind of wing it as I'm inking it. I think it keeps it looser and more organic for my process anyway. I'm forced to make more decisions with the ink than I would be with the pencil. They have some interesting curls in their ears. I don't know if this is a lobe, but it's on both sides, so it is symmetrical. Whatever's going on there. Darker spot at the top. It folds in. I think it's because it's like curled so much. And again, we have this kind of weird. So you think the ear's coming in, but it's actually tucked. So something like that. Let's see. Right. So that gives you a Fennec. Now, I've got to figure out Fennec's hair a little more sharper. Even though I have the roughs in there. So like this piece is straight. So that's easy enough. And she's got braids in addition to the straight pieces. So kind of matching straight piece on that side. She's got black hair, I think. And go down farther. Ear in here. doing so far? Hour and 18 minutes into it, not too bad. Making better progress than I thought I would. Okay, let's get this hair figured out though. We have another straight strand along there. And it kind of covers up the back of the jawline with the spine. But then we've got some weird braids. I think this is probably the best reference I have for that. So you have a braid, a braid. Right? So we have this going over the braid. So we can have a braid here, and then another braid up here. Yeah. And then we have the hint of a braid going that way. But then between the braids, what's going on with the hair between the braids? Get close up here. It's just, kind of normal hair. Right? So you just kind of envision that. So this is the braid. Let's click on the braid so I know to keep the braid. And then I'm just going to do the hair straight in between the braids. And then this orange thing, we'll do with a white paint pen and then an orange over the top to create these, whatever this weave thing is in her hair. There's a braid in the middle too on this one. So braid, 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 braid. Okay. So at least I have a better idea what I'm drawing now. So put the zigzaggy lines in there. This is courtesy of Fujimoto, Fukumaka 78, I believe. Paul Maka. And this little trick for doing braids quickly. Not necessarily 100% accurate, but it's quicker than most methods. And gives passable braids, so that. Yeah, braid, 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 and straight sections. Do that. All right, let's get the framing device in there, just so we're not filling up the whole paper with color stuff. Bigger pen for that. And to keep it loose, even though I drew it in with a straight edge, I'm just going to freehand it in. Make it looser. I can tell I slanted because it got thinner, so I'm actually eyeballing this a little bit on the fly. I can fix it up a bit because it's going to be heavily black to help pop everything forward. Just throw that Sharpie away. It's almost dead. I tried to refill this pen the other night and it overflowed, so I'm going to open it carefully and make sure there's no ink surprising me in the cap or on the drawing. Okay, good. I don't know if these particular pens are designed to be refilled, but I refilled. It's a 110 sketch marker brand, Soho Studio. So I put 110 ink in from Copic because I have that. Again, I don't know if it's designed for that or not, but sometimes you work with what you got. Let's add some complementary stripes on the outside edge. Yeah, this is just a design choice. Stick this down as we come in. Switch to the pointy end, maybe. No. Stick that chisel in. Bigger spots. Broader as we go. Try to add more of this as it comes down. Freehanding framing devices. All right, switch to that in. Outline around it. Okay. Just in black and white, you see how that framing device helps bring everything out. My freehanding may have been a little too rough. Let's see if we can straighten out the lines. We can create a reason for them there, and their lines are way off. So just point in, do that, and then into a sharper line there, and then this is a line here, and make this thicker. That one's pretty crooked. Oh well. Can't win them all. That was actually not too bad. This side not too bad. This one's a little crooked, but nothing for now. I can maybe picking it up a bit. And this one crazy. Maybe, I don't know, we take these speckles and we violate the border. Right? Happy little accidents. And that covers up that one unsightly line, makes it look like we meant to do this. Right? It just adds a little bit of variety and looseness, right? So we kind of camouflage the bad line on that side and made some asymmetry there. Yeah, I kind of like it. Almost to the point where I can erase out some lines, but I want to make sure that that guides. Switch to the Fennec again real quick. We want to accentuate these. I think we need to trying to get the eyes in there. Like I said, these eyes are going to be almost black, but I wanted to have a pure black pupil, but then a really dark gray. What do they call that? The whites of the eyes normally, but Clara, something like that. Not Clara, but we're on time. It's now almost 8 o'clock. We're ready to start coloring, I think. Now, the coloring actually usually ends up going a little bit quicker than the drawing part because I don't have to do as much thinking. At least that's a theory. One nice thing to make coloring simpler, her outfit is almost all dark. So I don't have to do a lot of details in her costume. Can, like I said, the collar and above the collar and above the shoulders, I can put in some cross hatching to create a texture. But I can do that after I color it. If we want to go around the gun into the finger, This makes the gun easier to read. So I have white light areas in there. All right, let's see. I should do the orange sections first so that I don't mess up and accidentally color them in. I know that's a distinct possibility. So we have orange. Let's see where's the skyscraper here. Something orange in it. It's sometimes hard to tell on this tone paper because when it's wet, it looks darker than when it dries. So I think I'm actually going to go with the heavier orange. I may go back over it with the lighter orange, the golden yellow actually, to create some highlight areas, but let's try that. All right, so this is all, and then for the darker areas, I'll use like a orangish red. So this part's all orange. The other nice thing is if I do the orange first, if I accidentally go over my lines where I need to, the black will cover the orange better than the orange would cover the black. Or the gray or whatever. Under the arm, it can be heavier. We get kind of carried away here and put in some heavy orange. Well, I should come in, like I said, with some red to build in deeper areas, deeper tonal values. So I can rough in the shadows with just the orange. Like I said, I don't know what this thing is on the back of her arm. I know it's orange. So we'll go ahead and get that in. And I want to say the banding on her braid is orange. It's very Halloween, orange and black. Because we're looking at the bottom of the arm right here, having that curl there would kind of help with the arm. I'm not putting her pistol or her rifle on her, so I don't have to worry about that. The communicator thing, oh, I lost the box on the side. Yeah, well, okay. She has some kind of communicator or something right here. No orange accents in that. There are orange accents throughout her braid. Jesus. Okay. All right, I think that's good for now. And then, like I said, I come in with this lighter orange, yellow, kind of warm up and brighten up some of the spots where we want highlights eventually. Watch when those dry. I know they look weird right now because I'm dark in the art, but all right, my angle. Grab my light source. Kind of almost top down, maybe slightly to the left. Wire 00 and wire 000. 000 for most of the base flesh tone. I forgot I'm on cool gray tonight instead of warm gray, which I'm normally drawing on warm gray, which actually blends in for flesh tone better. So she ended up being a little darker than I really wanted her to be, I think. But I did it as a may. Give a highlight the nose. That's glove, that's glove. So the only flesh is her face. Almost messed up. Almost. With the YR00, you see darker areas right up top. And we make them in with the darker tone yet, just to help accentuate everything. We also want to come in with some white, I think, to help pop everything too. I think we'll probably have to come in with darker violet red or to help really stretch out the colors. And she's got pretty muted lip tones. You do a combination of the YR00 and this, which is a RV95. Right over the top of it. I don't want her like bright red lips. She's not that ostentatious, I would. Is that a term? Is that a good term? Warm up your eyes. Yeah, like this we can get the kind of edge light I was trying to get. Oh, people still watching. Nobody's saying anything though. Getting hot. All right. Go C4 for most of our costume. The C4 is going to be a base, and we'll darken up in areas where we want. Hopefully, I've got. Well, I could refill if I need to, but hopefully, I've got enough. So we're using a cool gray for the outfit, and then we use warm gray for her, like her hair and stuff. And yeah, I can tell I'm gonna have to refill real quick anyway. Hold on, C4. So these are the Copic refills. C4 and C4. I'm going to do it away from the drawing just in case I spill. You can see it from my hand from the other night when I filled that 110. I'm just dropping drips straight into the barrel. And it's okay if I overfill this because I got a lot of area to cover. So I can kind of clean out the barrel or clean out the tin as I'm using it. Kind of put quite a bit in there. Just a little bit, but I don't have a pen in here. Is it? Okay, that's not orange on her sleeve. I was thinking, oh, don't tell me the piping's orange on her sleeve and I forgot to do it. So I probably overfilled it, but again, because I've got so much area to cover, I can kind of use it up quick. And the helmet's also dark, the glove is dark. It makes it nice. I don't have to worry too much about, covering over stuff I don't need. And the proof in between is dark. The tail is dark. And everything's dark. Which, when you think about what she does for a living, right, as a mercenary assassin kind of for hire, not having the orange accents don't really make sense, but the dark outfit does. Well, that should have been orange right there. Let me get that for What's that? This is orange backing out. This is just C4. C4 is just, I'm covering everything with C4, not the explosive. Copic Cool 4, C4 Cool Gray. And that's just giving my base for everything here because I know he's gray. I want to say Fennec, the fox, is kind of a yellowish white, mostly white. I want to say they're winter foxes. And then her hair will be a warm gray, but it'd be a dark warm gray. That makes sense. I think. If that makes sense for her hair. And I apologize that I'm turning the drawing away from the angle of the camera, but sometimes I have to turn it so that it works for my wrist. Like this works for me this way. It's hard for me to do that. But this way it works for my wrist. I drew the thumbnail on even though I didn't need it because she's wearing gloves. Cover it up. Doesn't matter. I don't remember what color pistol was. I want to say it's a gray too, but I'm not positive. I know this is finger here, so it's gray. It's all grays. So it gives you the base. And I'm going to grab a let's try a W5. This was a C4. Let's see how W5 looks on my scratch here. Too dark. Well, that was a W6. Yeah, that was dark. It's dark, but I think it'll work. So we're going to do a W5 for the hair. And like I said, she's got those orange strings in her hair. I'll do that with once I've got everything covered, I'll do that with a white marker and then go over with the orange to create that opaqueness. Anyway. Put in the dark for the hair. You can see, like I said, the coloring always goes faster than the drawing part because it's less thinking. I'm not thinking about where everything needs to be. Just trying to make sure I've got the colors. We can go in with a warm brown, an actual brown in some spots of the hair. Maybe once we've got the orange strings in there. Right now we're just kind of blocking everything. So that's good. A second, let me take a drink. It's getting hot. And I closed up the reference I had of Fennec's pistol. I'm going to have to find the reference again, but I want to say like this area is lighter than the body. So let me just pull up Google. To the Google machine real quick. Image search. And yeah, so it's a dark gray body, light area in here. Yeah, about something real quick. Now that I have the reference back up. On the lower side, we'll have that. And that around this. This will be lighter, lighter, darker, darker. Light barrel. Okay. So grab the C6 that we didn't use for her. Chisel end. The pistol is darker than most of her. We use that. We use C4 for the base on her outfit. We use C6 for the base of most of the pistol. Lighter gray. So that's the light areas of the pistol are lighter than she is, lighter than her clothes. Just grab a C1. There. All right. Start putting in some shading into the costume itself. We'll add this texture here. I'm going to grab a thin Sharpie, I think. Will probably be sufficient. I don't want the lines too thick. You want a crosshatch pattern in here. Give you a hint of the texture for output. Now it's actually got more nuance than just a crosshatch, but we cheat where we can, right? Place else we need to put texture. Alright, so this was a C4 and a C5 for some shading. In mind. Now, there's no cleavage in this, okay? So I don't want to, even though I know the center line comes here, I don't want to have cleavage. Shadows. Because the material tents over the breast, right? It doesn't. It's thicker, so it doesn't like sag in between the cleavage. Maybe tenting is not the right word. It bridges over where the cleavage would be. This is actually kind of lighter than this. So what we may do, this is C5, C4. We'll just color all this in, and then we'll shade the breast area with a C6 or C7. Trying to do this out a bit. And then this goes into this area as well. And then let's say the sleeves are lighter. The sleeves are darker than the cuffs. Okay. So I'll probably need to refill that with the C5. Hopefully I have C5. C5. Again, I'm refilling a pen real quick. Yep, wrong end. The new refill things are dangerous because you get that needle on them, so you're tempted to stick it straight into the barrel, but then you can't see how much you're putting in. You're only putting in like a couple milliliters. Get that. You're not putting in much. Sorry, I'm American. I don't know metric that well, even though I learned it in school years and years and years ago. So this area's darker. Why is it not coming into the nib? We can do this. let's change up the music. The beat is starting to bring it on. You can see that one. Don't be chill for the ambient. Yeah, blood pumping a little bit, right? Okay. So the cups are going to be lighter. We won't go over those. Although we can do the shading on the cups with the C5. You don't want to use it all over. So creating some variation. This is dark, this is dark. The cup is not as dark. The sleeve, the gloves. Alright. So we got dark gray parts of the suit, light gray parts of the suit. And we use the dark gray parts as shading for the light gray parts. And let's see, this one, shading is going to be kind of in the middle. Oh yeah, I like that beat. It's kind of waking me up a bit. And we'll put a line of dark for the poofiness. And do the similar thing here, all the way across. Now we can add shading for that part. StreamYard tells me there's 5 people watching, but nobody's saying anything. Is StreamYard lying to me? So that's a C6. I'm going to do a next thing. Let's see, do I have a C7? N7. One N7. You see how dark that looks. Pretty dark. No heavy shadows here. And a heavy shadow underneath this shoulder thing. Shading under the arm. And this actually helps me hide some of that. Oh, my line art was a little off on the bands. little darker than I wanted it. But what I can do, that's the N7. This is the C5. C5 we were using? I think that's what we're using, right? You can soften up the edge a bit. Some wet mixing. Okay, so it's just darker than I want it to be. So we'll brush it in. And we'll come right back over it with the 5 to lighten it up a bit and blend it in. Okay. I like it. I like it a lot. I mean, not a lot, but I do like it. The Sense was actually pretty good for the visor, I think, of the helmet. Without diluting it with the 5 afterwards. Use this for the visor. And then a white pencil to pop out the accents again. Like that. Okay. No one's saying anything. Let me know you guys are there. What do you want to talk about? Have y'all watched the Book of Boba Fett? And Mandalorian with Fennec Shand? Or what else was she in? I think it was a Bad Batch, right? She appeared in Bad Batch for a bit. Clone Troopers. I was pretty disappointed with Boba Fett, to be honest with you guys. It's a bummer. Because I love Ming-Na. And she wasn't the problem with the show, but I'm just, to have her in a less than stellar show was a little painful. Let's see. I'm glad I switched with the music. This got more people to keep me awake. All right. Let's see. All right. Goes back. I'll figure out what color I want to put in here to help everything pop out. What if we used, we got orange? I kind of like that idea. Tie everything in with some orange in the background too. Bring a little of yellowish orange into the bottom of this. Kind of makes it like a fiery look. And again, this outline stuff doesn't mean anything. It's just a framing device to help everything, like a layout. Yellowish orange. It can come with like a red toward the top. Really create that kind of fiery look. Maybe some yellow pencil in there to help on everything too. Is that looking? Yeah, okay. All right. Let's see. The Fennec. Fennec in there. Fennec. Kind of a reddish orange or yellowish orange. Actually, the golden yellow I had kind of work with this part. I'm going to deliberately use streaks with the marker to create that kind of furry look. On the side of the snout. And along the back. So a lot of this is whitish. We can get some accents in there around where they should be. Now, I said his eyes are going to be like a very dark gray. So this was black in the pupils. I'm grabbing a C8. And hopefully be able to tell the difference. I can see it on the paper, but you may not be able to see it on the camera. I can still see the pupils on the paper. But you can see it if I bring it closer to the camera, can you see it? No, not really. The light hits it right. Nope. Sorry. Okay. I'm going to white pencil. And I'm going to plug in my sharpener real quick. Give me a second. I should have done this at the beginning of the stream, but again, I rush home, do what I need to around the house, eat dinner, and come stream. Whoop, just turn my light off. And my lights have USB ports at the bottom of them. The sharpener's a USB sharpener. And you want, I don't want it to be too bright, but I do want the bag to be white. Even though we left areas in the white or in the fur, you can come in and add some white to help return the fur when you want it. And then let's see the snout. Tails into the APIs level. Sandy says she's drawing now, so it's hard for her to type. That's why I am quiet. But it is looking good. Thumbs up. All right. Thank you, Sandy. Get in there. Get the Sandy stamp of approval. Picked up this cheap little USB pencil sharpener, but it works good. I like having it handy. Streams. I have a regular plug-in electric sharpener on a different desk. It's not quite as convenient. Andy, did you watch Dungeons and Dragons yet? I know I'm gonna have to put the whiskers back in. But there's no way I'm gonna be able to cut around that with the light properly. Trying to stay fairly loose, even with the pencil. Yeah, because I want that fur look to be in there. So having the individual streaks helps create that fur look. Yeah, it's Paramount on the Paramount. It gets the Paramount on the 16th or 14th. I know it's not for a big year. Yeah. I actually bought it on Amazon so I could watch it again whenever I want to. Really enjoyed it. Well, this replay is going to be a pain in the butt to watch as I flip around the paper so much. Especially the YouTube short. You try and compress, 2+ hours of drawing down to less than a minute. It's just, but I'm still learning the algorithm and stuff and how to get views. And the shorts, as irritating as they are from a drawing perspective, from a viewing perspective, they get more views. It's kind of irritating. My channel grows slowly, but I do want it to grow a little bit. It'd be nice to be able to get monetized at some point, but I don't think that'll ever happen. I can put some white around it. Her helmet has some like distressed like chips and paint chips and stuff. So you put those in there to create. Get some more highlights on her face with the white. Here. And crisscross bands. Actually, let me do some shading in the hair before I paint in there. So that was I'd say that was a W5 or W4. So let's grab the W6 to throw some shading in there. W6, W7 just for some really dark values. I wonder if Ming-Na dyes her hair. He's actually just a couple years older than I am. Aging way better. Now I can put those weird crisscrossings in the hair. Paint is going on really thin. Try to get some more pigment into the hair. So I need it to be fairly bright so that when I go over with the orange, it pops back out again. not in that section. I don't understand what that orange is, but it's there. And while I've got the paint pen out, I can pick out the highest specular highlights I wanted. And everything has to have really bright specular highlights, but some areas should. Sufficient. I don't want to get carried away with the really bright specular highlights. Yeah, now waiting for that white to dry so I can go over the orange. Oh, let me do the go back in and add the whiskers and stuff like that. Because I didn't draw in all the whiskers they should have. There's a lot of them on the nose, kind of. Okay. And again, we want to do 5. Grab the sharp. We'll put these 2 back in with me. We'll add a 3rd one. Maybe I will use 5. The sharp is just not thick enough. That. Okay. And 1. I think I need something in the white of the fur to help pop it out. I'm just going to grab like a pale yellow to add in some variation. I think that maybe that's the word I'm looking for, some variation. Really can't even see it on camera, I don't think, but I want to have, let's get there. I don't want it to be like super bright white everywhere. Underneath the snout or the bottom of the muzzle, get some a little bit darker. It's too yellow. Bottom jaw should be underneath the snout, so it should be a little darker in shadow. Wherever that thing was, with the extra crease in the lobe. Chest, because it's rolling underneath, it'll be a little bit darker. So, dry now. Now you come back and grab the orange, go over those white. Again, I don't know what the heck those things are, but they're there. So do that. And then probably one of those pale whitish yellow I can do to add some highlights in the hair. Show the top of the braids, kind of bump. All right, what am I missing? What else does it need? Done? Surely I can't be done. And get pretty close. I think the snout, I think I need some darker colors in there. Have, I'm looking at the pictures of Fennec, and it's like the tear duct areas, like right, just this area right here gets darker for some reason. Like they cry a lot or something. We're gonna darken up that orange. Kind of a brownish color. See how that looks. Yeah, I think that works. Okay. All the blasters are electronic, so I don't need to put like smoke out of the blaster. I think I'm done. Just sign it, right? Some white in the eyes, maybe. What do you think? You need anything else? Lay it flat to the camera. Yeah, I think I'm done. We'll call it done. That was a 2.5 hour stream. That's about right. About where I figured it would be. Today is the 9th. Yeah. So there is Fennec Shand. Those of you that are still hanging out, thank you for watching. Only Sandy and Pigeon never said anything, so I don't know who the rest of you are. Feel free to jump in and talk next time. Keep me awake. All right. Thanks for watching. Aloha. Sandy, I'll see you tomorrow night. All right. Hit end.